I'm Susan. Welcome to Tea and Games. Today, I'm going to be doing Rolling Reggie's Mid-Year Board Game Challenge. So, what he does every year in the summer, for the past few years at least, is a challenge, and he tags some people, and I will tag some people too. If I don't tag you, consider yourself tagged. Just do the thing. And he asks a specific set of questions. They say the same from year to year about what you have played in this first 6 months of the year. I know this is going out a little bit late because I've scheduled other videos up ahead of it because I'm just trying to record stuff while I feel well enough to record them. So anyhow, and please excuse the mess behind me. We're moving stuff out of the guest room. So we will get right to it. I will place a list of the questions in the description so that you can do the challenge too. And I'm going to warn you that I'm not good at this. These questions are hard. I had a difficult time coming up with one single answer to each question. All of these questions I came up with more than one game. And there's one I'm not terribly happy with my answer about. I'm going to tell you ahead of time. Okay, the first question is, which game do you want to take on a second date? AKA, which game impressed you the most after the first play, or for the first play? This is kind of a tricky question because when we played a game that really impressed us a lot after the first play, then we immediately played it again, or pretty soon played it again. So I don't have a lot of stuff that's like, I played it once and loved it and it's just hanging out there waiting for a replay. Not for the first 6 months of this year anyway. But the obvious answer to this is Vantage. The first play of that, we were very, very blown away and could not wait to get it to the table again, which we have. We've clocked 4.5 plays of it. The half play was the first play. So we played it like 4 full more times since then. And I would also say there is one game that has, oh wait, I stacked the boxes up here and then I did not hold the box up. I put all the games, I should say, that fit these questions around me on chairs and then did not show them. Vantage. Like you don't know by now what the cover looks like if you've been watching any board game channels. Oh, yeah. But the other one is one we just played for the first time. This is maybe a little bit more legit answer. We played this for the first time this past weekend. I'm recording a bunch of videos back to back, so by the time you see this, we'll probably have already played it again. But we played this for the first time this past weekend, and we liked it a lot, and I am really, really looking forward to playing it again. It is not a new game. It's from back in 2018, which I bought it used. It is no longer in print, unfortunately. So yeah, Lowlands is an Uwe Rosenberg style of farming game designed by C&R Partenheimer. But yes, it is nifty. And we enjoyed it a lot. Oh, look, Esme is here. She is sitting in the chair next to me, my little chihuahua. Ah, my little street stray. Yes, you are a good dog. You are my little gamer dog. She sits usually in the chair that's right here and pokes her head up over the edge and kibitzes in the games. Okay, which game hit the table more than any other so far this year? And this is not going to be a surprise to anyone. It used to be Carcassonne, but Moon Colony Bloodbath has overtaken it in terms of total number of plays and plays within the past 6 months. And yesterday I got, once again, my highest score ever. I've had 2 previous games where I ended up with 30 population or more. I hit 30 population and that record held for a while. And then I hit 31 not too long ago. But yesterday I finished the game with 35 population. That's 5 more than my starting population. So a new record high score. So yeah, it's getting played a lot. We know the cards so well now that it's very fast to table, and so consequently, if we just like, I don't know, what do we want to play? We just have time for something fast, or I'm really tired, or I don't want to think about it too much. This is the one we go to because, like Carcassonne, Carcassonne, somewhere on the table, it's here. We played this just so very, very much. We know it so well. We could almost play it with our eyes closed. So it has very much become one of our go-to games, even though it is vicious and brutal. Question number 3, what was your biggest surprise and or disappointment in the first 6 months of this year? And, oh, yeah, okay. Biggest surprise, I need to move these things. Yes, my vantage is moving. Shift all this over. 2 games that we got and played recently. Eastern Wonders, which we played for the first time at Pelican. This was a big surprise in the sense that I thought we would like it. Obviously, if I'm playing a game, putting a game on the table, it is because I think it's something that we might like. So that seems kind of obvious, but I liked it much more than what I thought I would. I thought I would like the game, but I liked the game a lot. So yeah, it's already gotten like 3 plays this year. And another game that I thought I would like a lot that I finally got my hands on is Cafe and Espresso. Cafe with the Espresso mini expansion inside. And I thought I would like it from watching how it played on the Board Game Beans channel, and that's what put it on my radar. But after we got it and we actually played it, it's like, I saw how it played and I thought we might like this, but I just really liked it. I liked it more than I thought I would. A lot of the other games that we played recently, I liked them just as much as I thought I would. But these 2 I liked more, and in that sense, they were a surprise. There was no game that I had low expectations of and then was shocked at how good it was, because if my expectations are that low, I'm not going to play it. But I did have some disappointments, though. The biggest disappointment was we played Zombie Dice at Pelican, and it was just such a flop for us. It did not click well. We did not like it at all, and it did not go on our buy list. So that was our biggest disappointment. And I guess that could be, obviously, if I played it, I thought I was really going to like it, and I really didn't. So that was a very big gap there between expectations and what it actually was. But Cafe and Espresso, which we haven't played the Espresso expansion yet, and Century Eastern Wonders, we both liked more, even more than we thought we would. Question number 4, what game's production art has impressed you the most? And once again, I got 2 answers for this one. Okay, the obvious answer, and this is very hard to top, is Vantage. This is magnificent in terms of the artwork. And my second answer, where did I put it? Here it is. My second answer would be Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, which we still haven't finished. We bailed out after a while because we are so not good at this. It was just so very, very difficult. But the stained glass style artwork, which y'all have probably seen before, the stained glass style artwork and just the way it's packaged, it's because this is an artwork and production quality question. I mean, with these three little sections here and the little thing where you can lift the cards out and the little box things on the sides to hold the next chapters of the cards. I don't know, the way this thing is organized and packaged is just so impressive. I mean, when we open it up, we're just going like, ooh. Vantage also has really good production, not just artwork, but also the organization. I have the boards. That's why we have lid lift. Otherwise, you would not. But I got the upgraded things. But it has all of these things in here that, like, the cards are like super well organized, and they're stacked up like this. And then on this other end, you've got like little sliding drawer boxes that have bits in them. And I was just really, and it's so easy to set up. I mean, you can set this thing up and be playing just in a matter of minutes. And this is probably the fastest setup because of the brilliant way it's organized. You just turn those cards and you get the things out and you're there. I mean, this is probably the fastest setup for the biggest game of any game I have. I don't know of any substantial game that sets up as quickly as this does. In fact, Jamie Stegmeyer actually has a video showing how you can set it up in, I don't know, something like 7 minutes or something. And I left the book out. Of course I did. I'm always doing that. So art and production. Okay, what has been your most reliable introductory game? Okay, I have not introduced any new players to games, and Vantage is shifting over to the other side, in the first 6 months of this year because I've been having health problems and I've really not been feeling well. So yeah, the social side of gaming has gone very, very far down, and I have not introduced anybody to games, but Carcassonne is still my most reliable introductory game. And if you're introducing it to somebody who is not familiar with modern board games, I would recommend for a first game playing without fields, because fields are tricky and confusing sometimes. We usually play without fields ourselves because fields are just a pain in the neck. So we just kind of house rule that. We do have some expansions that do stuff specifically with fields that we will play with fields if we're doing those. But it's tile laying and matching tiles, and I have tried to teach really simple introductory low-level games to friends who are not board gamers and have no experience of modern games, and they just bounce off of them. I don't care how easy the game is. It's just so difficult, and they struggle so hard and don't get it. But Carcassonne will not miss. I mean, it is surefire, and it will, I think, always be my introductory game for someone who is a non-board gamer and has zero experience of modern board games. I would also say that it might be a good one, particularly if you are introducing modern board games to someone who is not young, because their experience of games is going to be a lot less sophisticated than pretty much anyone under a certain age. So Carcassonne, if you're not going with something like a card game, Carcassonne might be a good game for someone who is of an older generation that you want to bring into modern board games. And the thing with Carcassonne is it can ramp up in complexity as you start adding expansions to it, or mini expansions. So yeah, it is definitely the most reliable. 6. Okay, this is the one that has the answer that I'm not happy with. Question number 6. Which Cult of the Old title, 10 plus years old, did you discover for the first time this year? Okay, in previous years, I've had a list for this, because I tend to usually not play the hottest things, Vantage being an obvious exception. I tend to play older games. I'm always looking for games that are kind of modern classics that everybody except me knows how to play. But 10 years, there are only 2 games that I've played in the first 6 months of this year. And that could change by the end of this year, but in the first 6 months of this year, and that may be because we haven't played a whole lot because I haven't been feeling well, but 10 years or older, there's only Strike and Zombie Dice. And Strike was published in 2012 and Zombie Dice was published in 2010. We did not like Zombie Dice. It was basically probably the least favorite dice game we've played. And I was like, I kind of have like a mental list of just pure dice chucking games, and that would be way down at the bottom, like not even close. And Strike, I got this because so many people talked about how much fun Strike was. A lot of people like Strike. It's just that basic dice chucking game. And honestly, compared to some of our other pure dice chucking games, Strike does not compare all that well. I mean, we've pulled it out and we've played it a few times, and it's okay. I'm not actually even sure that we're going to keep it because we have got so many other dice games that are so much better, that are pure dice chucking games. So Strike was, yeah, I wanted to like it a lot more than I actually do. We are still like pulling it out and playing it and hoping that we enjoy it more, but it's just kind of like a thing we do. Like, we roll the dice and we do the thing, we roll the dice and we do the thing, and it's just like, it's just so flat compared to the other games that we have, that we play when we're in the mood for a dice chucking game. So I'm not really happy about these answers. I have some that are a little bit older than 10 years that we played for the first time this year that we like a lot. It's like after a couple of years have passed, maybe I'll have better answers to this. But part of it is, this is a very narrow window, the first 6 months of this year. And I have felt incredibly bad the first 6 months of this year. I have been incapable of playing games a lot of the time. So yeah, I don't have a good answer for those old ones. And that really hurts a bit because I really like me some older games. I'm always looking for old classics. What is currently at the top of your wish list? Oh, this is easy. This is like one of the few really easy questions. Forest Shuffle, Smoky Mountains. And I saw a picture of this. There are rivers. You can put like rivers underneath the trees and then put fish under the rivers, and that looks really cool. I'll be really interested to see how that works. So I'm looking forward to Forest Shuffle Smoky Mountains, and I'm also looking forward to the Exmoor expansion of Dartmoor because we really liked Dartmoor, so I definitely want to get Exmoor. And the 8th question is, shout out a creator, podcast, blog, or local game store that made your year better. It's the made your year better that makes me want to actually shout out something that isn't a board game podcast, because this year I discovered the Once We Were Spacemen podcast, and then it started I think last fall, and then went back and listened to all the other ones, and some episodes and some parts of some episodes, I have literally laughed so hard I cried. It's Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk. This podcast is probably not for everyone, but then again, maybe it is. I'm definitely fans of those two actors, and some of their shows I've really, really loved. I haven't watched all of them. That's why I said some of. So it really hit a spot with me, but they are both so funny, and sometimes it's just the two of them, and sometimes they have guests on, and their guests are really good too. So yeah, not board game. Now, if you're talking board game podcast, and I had to say that because it was that make your year better, and there's no board game podcast that I'm listening to right now that will have me doubled over laughing and gasping for breath and crying. That's just not going to happen in a board game podcast. And I've watched some funny ones, but these are world-class, like, hilarious people. But for board games, definitely Reggie and Jazz from Lobby of Hobbies, Rolling Reggie from Rolling Reggie, and Jazz from Lobby of Hobbies. They have a podcast called Board States that I listen to pretty regularly. It's the only board game podcast that I listen to on anything like a regular basis. However, I have started listening to the Shelf Stable podcast a little bit more regularly. I've kind of dipped in and out of it, but they gave me a shout out on Blue Sky. So it had been a while since I had listened to some of their podcasts, so I just kind of dropped back in and listened to them. They have a bit of overlap with my YouTube audience in that Shelf Stable means those games that are evergreen, those games that are older games that are still being played, like question number 6 here, Cult of the Old. That is their wheelhouse. So that is one that you might want to take a look at if you like the fact that I don't always cover like new stuff, that I'm like pulling out some game from 10 years ago and going like, oh wow, isn't this great? Yeah, you might like their stuff. So it's like, again, not a single answer. It's like I shouted out 3 podcasts, one of which is not even a board game podcast. But Roland, Reggie, and Jazz from Lobby of Hobbies with their Board States podcast and Shelf Stable, those are the 2 board game podcasts that I listen to when I listen to podcasts, because I really don't do the podcast thing very often. And I will tag them in the description for this. Bonus question, what is your personal favorite piece of content that you've created this year? And this is another easy one for me to answer, and I have only one answer for it because I haven't made a lot of content this year due to health problems. But my favorite piece of content that I have made this year is 20 games to play on the patio, and I will link that in the description below. And that's actually a fairly recent one, and it actually talks about the whole playing games on the patio in the summer thing. But that was one. It's not just because I haven't done a lot of content this year, but also that particular topic is one that I have been wanting to do like year after year after year and never quite end up doing. So that has been on my list of, that is a podcast, I'm not a podcast, a video that I have been wanting to do, a list I have been wanting to do for a long time. And this year I finally did it. And it's a good one, I think. Maybe I'm not the best judge of these things. You tell me. So anyhow, that is Roland Reggie's Midyear Board Game Challenge for this year. It is 8 questions and a bonus question. If you want to do it, tag people that you want to do it. So I'm tagging Shelf Stable Podcast because though they have an audio podcast that you can get on a podcatcher, they also have a YouTube channel, which is the podcast. So I'm going to tag them to do this challenge. I'm going to tag Chaz Marler over at Game Night Picks. I want to know his answers to these 3 questions. And I'm going to tag Jen and Jane over at the Spiel Meal podcast because I know they've played some good stuff in the first 6 months of this year. So those are the 3 I'm tagging, and I will tag them also in the description below. And I will see y'all next time. If you want to do this, tag people, do the thing. It's fun. And I'll see y'all next time round the table. Bye.